NIO stock price has been on a very strong push down over the course of the past month, pulling down to that $5 level, appearing to have more downside before a snap, pop, a breakout over $5 level over the course of the past 24 hours. Will the bulls continue this momentum, snapping a very strong reversion in stock price, or are we going to see more downside continue? My name is Dylan from Dylan Trades. We're going to break down and analyze NIO stock price, getting a full comprehensive price analysis. As always, first going to the weekly to get a very long-term perspective. So, with all this being said, we're currently seeing over the course of the past 5 weeks, stock price getting lower, lower. Hence why we've seen these red candles. Last time stock price has seen 5 red weeks in a row has been a very long time. To be exact, if we take a hunt, it has been dating back really close, not quite getting it over here around September, but pushing back towards March of the beginning of this year. And you did see a quick pop, a quick red to green reversion. And this is a very common phenomenon with a lot of these stocks. And this did base into another rejection towards a more long-term breakout, but that's besides the point. So as of right now, looking at current stock price, we're knowing that there is an unsustainable amount of momentum to the downside, whether you want to use technical indicators, use candlestick structure, what have you. We have pulled down to this last breakout level, which typically is going to be in a very high flying stock that did erupt down. Going to be that spot where you're going to see that bounce. So as of right now, we're going to call it the bottom on NIO here at $5. Over the course of the past few updates, we have been updating it and likely mentioning if $6 is broken, likely going to see downside, right? We did see that. $7 in a break, likely going to see downside. We keep pausing flat these big psychological levels with a lot of momentum. So this is going to indicate where stock price goes. If you can see that ultimate defense of this last breakout level, once again, this very strong breakout, which we did monitor on the channel back around $5, predicting upside towards $7.50, ended up getting it topping at $8. We are going to set the exact floor, likely to get a push to $5.60, $6, these upper levels. There are a couple of different targets you could set a different variety of levels, but as of right now, it does appear a lot of momentum to the downside, unsustainable within a red to green reversal is in play for sure. Once again, guys, even if you see a strong couple week recovery, pushing to close to $6 or maybe even above $6 and then reversing back towards, 530, trying to get a double bottom or what have you, or even breaking down lower for the next few weeks, you are going to see that pop, that quick red to green reversion. This is a unsustainable price activity, and data does show that. Once again, the last red to green reversal we seen after that last red week spiked up quickly 65%, pushing from $3.60 to $5.60. So as of right now, we definitely could expect that magnitude of upside, pushing back towards $7 perhaps. Definitely wouldn't be out of the equation here, back testing this long-term channel, descending channel, very tight structure here, a lot of presence, a lot of breakout potential here from that more long-term structure we just popped from. So to see us erupt and then come right back to it, it is a very rare presence to see in such a strong mover, but we should expect that ultimate bottom to be right now. With that being said, we're now going to flip to the daily, and this is very good for the more medium term within things. And this is definitely a great example of a potential bottom out. Notice how over the course of the past really 20-ish days, stock price has been very negative. Once breaking this very big level at $7.50, coming down to $7, once breaking $7-ish, just big drop at this level. Red day, small green day with rejection at this wick. Then the next day flips red. More selling pressure, a pause within a green day. Red. Indecision doji candle, green, red. Everything is just red. Now we've seen that $5 level being approached with a lot of negative selling pressure. These nasty inverted hammer candles with a large body, a mini wide bar pressing down, breaking core levels here, then pushing down with a pretty big wide bar here, a little bit of a wick on the bottom, just very negative structure, breaking $5. Once again, being at these big levels where you see the flip. We see that, crumble within stock price, but now we've actually done the other thing around, breaking it, and then instead of just crumbling at this very core level, now we've seen stock price get above it. And this is a common liquidity sweep where you will see stock price break at a big level, stop losses get triggered, what have you, etc., etc. And then the more institutional smart money will step in for that upside. And we have seen this play out a couple times on NIO. We have been tracking this back towards $3 on the channel. Definitely very reminiscent of this very similar thing we've seen over here. Very classic example of a liquidity run. We were chopping on this very strong base here, coming down to it, pausing with a lot of bearish momentum, then dropping below. It doesn't look good. Next day comes a massive upside, breaking back above this initial support and getting that more long-term movement. This is a great example of a liquidity run. As of right now, we're just seeing a potential liquidity sweep. I do think you're going to see that quick reversion come back on the weekly, giving a nice strong big bar, symbolizing on the daily to a nice movement back towards $5.40 at a minimum. That's going to be the next short-term price target you're going to want to look at. And then come more medium term, going to be that $6 level. Now looking at the hourly analysis, did see a very tight descending wedge just get so picture perfect tight at $5. So much negative momentum. What's going to occur? Broken $5. Okay, that's just as simple as that. Every technical signal you can pull out the book, everything was leading to that. The sentiment, the momentum, everything, what have you, candle structure, pattern, break $5. Seen a very nasty reversion. Ultimately holding at that $4.80 level, breaking up, and now we're boom, right back over $5, teetering over that to end the day with a very strong look. So as of right now, you're in that contention once again for this fake breakdown to occur. A lot of short sellers get in and then ended up getting squeezed out if $5 gets broken above. That will be the stop loss, and likely at this point in time, the more long-term shift in momentum, squeezing to $5.40 likely in 2 days would make logical sense. So as of right now, things are in a very interesting position for the buyers here to take advantage of this very fragile spot for the short sellers. Okay, we've seen a very incredible movement down, likely going to see a very big snap within reversion within momentum. If that does occur, that does align for the more short-term analysis, the hourly, the daily, the weekly. Everything will kind of synchronize for a nice couple of weeks. So that is what we're going to forecast on the channel, pressing back towards that $6 location. If you guys found any value with the video today, consider dropping a sub and a like. We've been continuing to cover NIO since this initial breakout. Okay, at $3, $3.50, being very unfiltered, unbiased. Okay, and myself personally, I've been following NIO back since I IPO'd damn near, 5-6 years ago or whatever it IPO'd. So NIO is a very top mover. It is very core-responsive. If you guys found any value with the video today, consider dropping a sub and a like. We'll continue to cover and monitor NIO stock price about 1 to 2 times per week. Have a good one, guys. Take care. Trade smart. And